All right, thank y'all for being here. Obviously excited to still be playing football. It's Thanksgiving week, and we got a chance to practice on Thanksgiving and play this Saturday, so we're excited about that. It was a big win for us Saturday, to go undefeated in the conference in our last time in the conference and all those things and find a way to win the last one. And I thought I told our kids yesterday, I thought we prepared as well as we have all week, and we came out ready to play. And though we didn't play perfect, it was by far the best football game we've played all year. I would say, with all three phases, we had some things that we got to do better, covering kicks and some stuff that could have been cleaner for sure. But really, it was a good week of preparation and a good outing to finish out the Big South Conference. So all that's fine and good, and that's one of our goals. We did that. Now it's on to the next thing. You're in the FCS playoffs, and I told our guys as well that there's, and don't quote me on this number, but there's 120 plus FCS teams across the country, and there's 24 still playing. So it's an honor and a privilege, and as part of our program, this is an expectation as well. But we're here now, and and I also told them, I said, listen, come next Saturday, one team's going to pack their stuff up and be done. The other team's going to get ready for the next game. So this is the urgency in the there's little margin for error because it's playoff season, which is what we aspire to be in. So we got to go prepare and have a great week. I think it's really good the kids are out of school this week. It gives them a little time to recuperate a little bit, get some extra rest, some things that they desperately needed. We haven't had a bye week since I think it was like week 4 of the season. And so I think that'll help as well. And then we got to get ready to play a really good football team that's won their league the last couple of years. And, when you look at them, they're leading the country in rushing. I think they're averaging almost 40 points a game. Defensively, they're another upperclassman defense that's got a lot of seniors, and they got a lot of guys from Georgia. So I think there's a lot of things that are going to play into this game on Saturday, and it's playoff football, and we got to get ready to go play. And it's going to be a challenge, but that's the playoffs. That's what I was telling our guys, man. It's 24 teams left. Everybody's good, and we got to get ready to go play. And so that's where we are. We got to have a great week of preparation. Obviously, today's a big day for us. We'll practice today and Wednesday afternoon, and we'll go Thursday morning and give the guys a little time the ones that are close enough to go spend the time with their family, and then we'll get back Friday and get back in our normal routine to get ready to play on Saturday. So excited about being at home. That's always a good thing, and we'll get ready to go play. So open the floor for questions.
Coach, I know when we left here the other day, you said, look, it's not in my control, but we've done everything we can do. How can you keep a 10-1 conference champion out from a national seed? And they did. So I was just kind of curious what the reaction was in the room as you're watching the draw and you realize, okay, we don't get that bye week that we were hoping for.
Well, I think the kids were good. I think they were all disappointed. They worked awful hard to get to that point, and they, just like myself, felt like it was deserved, but it didn't happen. But I think they handled it well. I was a little curious how they would come back yesterday. Attitude's been good. It's kind of the way this group's been, so they're it was I know they were disappointed. I think they were ready for a little bit of a break, and also felt like, hey, we've gone out and earned this thing, but as I told them, I said, I get it, I agree with you. I've been kind of telling our kids, and I think they recognize, there's a lot of times that here that we feel like we're doing everything we can, we're winning ball games, but sometimes we don't get the recognition maybe that we deserve. And so, I told our guys sometimes that happens, and that's just the way it is. You can control what you can control, but let's go take care of business. We got an opportunity to go play a football game Saturday, and let's go do it. Let's try to earn some of that stuff back.
With Davidson, you mentioned that they like to run the ball. I think they've got four guys that have gone for at least 100 yards in a game this year, and one just missed. So with that many quality backs, yeah, you're trying to stop the run, but does that throw wrinkles into the preparation, not knowing which back's coming at you at which time?
No, I think you got to go prepare for what they do. All right, so you got to go prepare for what they do. They're a zone-based option football team, and we're a little more veer-based option football team. They're a zone-based option football team. They do a great job with what they do. I mean, obviously, you don't get these numbers, like you know what I'm saying. Like the numbers are, I mean, they're off the charts. So I think you got to go prepare for what they do, and you know, you got to fit everything up and do things the right way, which you got to do every week. It's just a different scheme than we've seen all year. You know, everything is, you know, people have their different versions of it, but this is different what we've seen all year. So we'll just have to go get it fit up and get our guys, you know, just doing their job. It's no different any other week. You got to do your job, you know, and go play. And you know, obviously they're gonna move the ball some. I mean, I don't think you're, you know, when they're, you know, but I think we got to find ways to get them off the field on third down, prevent big plays, and try to find a way to create some turnovers.
You mentioned that it's a different scheme than you've seen because you're both option teams. Does that make it easier to prepare or harder to prepare just based on the fact that it's between zone and fear and that?
I think there's some principles there that are very similar. I think at the end of the day, you know, we hadn't gone against ourselves since camp, and they probably haven't either. So, you know what I mean? You've been preparing for all this other stuff all year. I do think there's some principles because they go against themselves in the off season and in preseason. We do too. That there'll be some understanding, but you know, outside of that, I mean, you know, we've been facing all this other stuff, and they have too, you know, throughout the year. So I think it'll, though there is some experience on both sides, I think it's probably half a dozen of the other, John, if you want to know the truth. I think whoever can prepare the best and get ready to go play and take care of the ball and do all the things you talk about when you're talking about playoff football is going to give yourself a chance to win.
You were hoping for the week off because you saw a lot of guys getting banged up. Looked like a lot of the offensive line was coming off in the fourth quarter. Where are we on the injury front now after almost getting back to where you wanted to be?
Yeah, we're banged up. What you saw is what you saw. So we got some guys banged up. Obviously, it's early in the week still, so I don't really know where it's all at. But especially on the offensive line, we're banged up. You know, so hopefully we'll see how the week goes. It's just kind of been the theme this year. You know, it's like, and you're sitting there, and we had a lead Saturday, and it was like all of a sudden one after another. You know what I mean? And there wasn't much you could do about it. And but so we'll see how the week goes. But yeah, what you saw during the game is what you saw. We were definitely banged up, but hopefully we can get some guys back, and if not, somebody else is going to have to step up and play, and it's kind of the way the year's been. You know, I mean, we've gone through waves of this, you know, that have been challenging throughout the year, and I imagine there'll be some of that Saturday. There's going to be some guys out, I'm sure. Hopefully they'll get back, but there'll be some guys out.
It is a holiday week. You said you're going to go early on Thursday, and then let the guys go out and be with their families. And unfortunately, with the pandemic still continuing to go on, I see the NFL's taking extra precautions for their players on Thursday and doing that whole thing. What are you guys doing this week to try and minimize that as much as possible?
We haven't done anything right now. You know, I may bring it up before they go, but we haven't done anything. You know, our kids have done a good job. You know, we've really tried not to let that be the focal point of the 21 season, because it's had enough emphasis as it is. And I don't mean that in any, like, I'm not, you know, we've tried not to let that be the, you know, so I'm sure it'll get brought up somewhere. But our kids have done a good job. I'll give them credit. Something may happen, but they've done a good job of taking care of themselves. And so hopefully that'll remain the case. But we really haven't discussed it, to be honest with you, and hadn't really thought a whole lot about it.
Last thing, it is Thanksgiving, and we talked a little bit at the end of the game how much fun it is to be able to practice and all that. But one of the things, you do have a lot of kids that are too far from home to travel. So what is the game plan for them? Are they all hooking up with other teammates, or are coaches opening their doors, or what's the game plan to make sure everybody has a happy Thanksgiving?
All the above. So what we do, and this is, so there's a couple things you can do as a coach. One, you can have everybody come eat together, right? But there's a lot of kids, because of where we're located, that are able to go be with their families. So that would be another hour and a half, 2 hours that they can maybe. So what we've decided here is to give those that want to the opportunity to go with their families. Those that don't have a place to go, as I told our position coaches, our assistant coaches today, make sure in your group everybody has a place to go to eat and hang out for a little bit, just to get away from everything. So really, that's the way we've handled this, and it's really worked out good. What'll happen is, traditionally there'll be some guys that might end up going coaches, but a lot of guys that are too far away, they'll end up going with some buddies or whoever it might be because we do have a lot of kids that are fairly local, that we're able to do that. So it's worked out well, and we just make sure everybody's got a place to go.
Coach, talking about the Monmouth game again, for some reason, you guys obviously 2 ranked teams coming into this game, but through 5 games, none of them have really been all that close. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I don't know. I can tell you of late a little bit, but I really don't. I don't know that I have an answer for you on it. The last few games, I know the last 2 games that we lost to them, we got off to a really poor start, and the thing kind of dominoed, right? And going into the game, I'm sure I told you guys, and if you'll see me on the sideline after the first touchdown, you'll understand I'm not one of those that's jumping up and down all the time. But when we took the ball down the field and scored, that was a big deal, because we haven't gotten off to a good start. I don't know if that has a factor in it. The spring, we were not very good, period. It just was the spring, and then they played lights out in 19. Offensively, the quarterback was on fire, as much as I've ever seen a quarterback in my career coaching. So I think it's just some things have happened. I don't really know the answer for you, to be honest with you. I do know the beginning of the game has had an impact. And it's kind of weird, though, when you go back and look. And I say that in the last few years because prior to that, they got off to a good start for a couple of years there that we won the conference you go back in 17 and 18, I believe. I know it up there the last time. But it's just kind of been weird. It's just been that way. I really thought going into the game it was going to be a 4-quarter game. I told our kids that because I didn't feel like it was going to be what it had been. But I felt like it was going we were going to have to fight our tails off to go win the game. But we got a little momentum, and our kids are ready to play, man. They're ready to play, and then when they decide I told them Monday, when they decide they want to go play, and they all decide and they go prepare that way, I think you guys sitting up there, it's pretty fun to watch, So hopefully we can, as I told them, we can continue this trend, of getting ourselves ready to go. But I don't have an exact answer. I just gave you a lot of information that's happened over the years. It has been kind of weird, especially the last few years. Now, before that, it had kind of been what it was the first 4 years. It really was pretty clear cut the first 4 years, and then it kind of flipped a little bit when we got to 19, and then you had the spring, and then there was this year. So I don't know. And it ended the right way. That's all I can tell you.
Things look with recruiting as you prepare for the postseason.
Yeah, we've gotten accustomed to coming away to prepare when you don't know when you're going to be done, and we meet every week recruiting, and putting together a plan to be out on the road when we're done for the first time in like a year. Because of all the COVID stuff, we haven't been out. So we meet every week, and we're constantly evaluating and putting together and communicating with that group of guys that we want to try to bring in at some point in time before the early signing period. And a lot of that depends on where we are and what we're doing when we do that. And we usually wait as long as we can, and we'll bring some guys in and once we kind of work our way through this process. I tell you, the thing that's really struggling and tough right now is this transfer portal and this one-time transfer, and I mean, we had multiple kids lead the program this week, and it's disheartening for me because I'm not really wired this way, So managing the roster and trying to figure out what holes you're really trying to fill, it's a challenge. We have to recruit the portal. I think there was 800 names maybe a week ago. There may be a couple hundred more now. I mean, it's off the chart. So you have that dynamic. We're a high school-based program, so we're always but then when you look at, all right, well, a couple kids come in that are juniors and want to leave, well, in theory, you don't replace juniors with freshmen. So there's the dynamic of this world of recruiting right now and the transfer portal, and then you got guys that have extra years from COVID. This thing right now is as unique and a lot of elements of unknown, which we in coaching don't like that. We like to control the environment as best we can. So it's unique, and so we're preparing for what we know we can prepare for. But in all honesty, I don't know. And sometimes I hate to see it because I know if kids will just hang around, man, they're gonna be in good shape. But it's tough. It's a different day and time. There's no question about it. And so we're preparing. We have a plan, and then it alters every day, and that's recruiting a little bit, anyways. But it's all this dynamics of different stuff that we're trying to work our way through. So we're working on it. We have a plan, I think we'll have a really good class. We'll bring in with the early signing period. I don't know how many that'll be, and then we'll have to finish some stuff off in January and February for sure. We always do, and then we'll see where the thing goes. But it's good right now. I mean, I think it helps winning. Anytime you can win, it's good. We got guys that hopefully want to come be a part of this thing.
Can you confirm? Are we at a point where you can confirm which are the guys that?
I'd rather not.
Okay.
I'd rather not. I don't think that's. Yeah, I'd rather not.
My last question, Coach. I feel like we have to say something about the defensive line after the Monmouth game. What was it specifically that they did so well that they maybe improved on from the previous game against Monmouth?
Yeah, I go watch the first play of the game and watch the 4 guys up front and what they did on the first play of the game. It was indicative of the game. I mean, all 4 of them had which was probably the biggest offensive line you'll see us play. They're all in the backfield, and that's the way the game was. The defensive line took the game over. They completely stopped the run. How many yards they have rushing? 30. 30 yards rushing. And I'm not saying our linebackers and our secondary didn't play a part in it, but it started with those guys up front, and they were ready to play. They made up their mind that what had happened in the last few meetings wasn't going to be again. But the first snap of the game, you can see it. And there was multiple snaps like that, but you could see it. And they came off the ball with a little passion, and I think that set the tone right there. You know what I mean? And they kept it up the whole game, and were able to. For a team that takes pride in running the ball, we did about as good as you can do at stopping them. I don't think you can do much better.
You noted how important it was to go down and score the football and then the first play of the game. Inside of all that, how key was it that first third down stop to get them off the field, and then I think we had a 3rd and 9, and the pitch to Sonny playing a role in being able to go up 7-0 through 2 possessions?
No question. Getting them off the field, huge. and then converting on 3rd and 9, huge, you know. And you could almost feel it a little bit over there. There was probably some tension with all of us because we knew how important it was to get off to a good start. And that was a huge play. And then, you know, we were able to carry that momentum, you know, forward. So there's no question. It was all big. There was a lot of things that happened in the game that were huge, you know. We got more calls in this game than we probably gotten all year. We finally got a holding call, multiple, which we hadn't gotten all year. That's all I asked for. Hey, can we get a holding call? Just 1 or 2, maybe. So it was there were some good things that happened. We needed it. Good Lord.
And walking back through the fake punt call, what built up to that? Was that something that was kind of in y'all's mind a little bit beforehand, came right then and there? What all contributed to that call?
So Coach Harris came to me early in the week and said we can fake it. And so we worked on it, got ready, went in the game, knew where we would have to do it, and we'd already called it once, and they were in a look that was not favorable. So we obviously had a way out, and then you know, we got in another situation where we could do it, and we felt good about it. And Coach Harris said we felt good about it, and listen, you don't do that stuff on the 50-yard line; it ain't going to work. So it's, as I told you guys before, it's like it's just one of those things. You got to do it where you do it. But we felt good about what we were doing. We'd worked on it. So, you know, we make the call, and then, you know, we make sure we got the look we want. And then the guys did a great job executing it. And it was a huge momentum play. And then right after that, that was a huge play. And then we got in like a 3rd and shoot. I think it was like 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12. It was 3rd and long, and we were able to convert. If not, you would have helped yourself a field position, but you wouldn't have gained what you want when you go fake a punt, right? So I thought that was huge, and then we were able to score, which is what you want to get out of when you have a play like that. So just, you know, that's really what happened. It was the second time we called it actually in the game. But it worked. If it wouldn't have worked, y'all would be talking to me the same right now. So it worked.
Lastly, Coach, what are you thankful for this year at Thanksgiving?
Oh, I mean, I'm thankful for my family. You know, my wife's awesome, man. She does a lot of stuff. I'm not around a lot. Got great kids that overcome their parenting. You know, and then I'm really thankful for these kids and this staff and this program and everybody involved with it, and the time and effort and energy they put into what we do here. And, you know, we take a lot of pride in it, pretty passionate about it, you know. And I think what these kids did this year is special, man. It's special. And we're not done yet. But I told you guys after the game, but I mean, you know, there's a lot of things to be thankful for. I got a lot of great people around me that you know, that make me look good. But I'm proud of our kids, proud of the program, you know. Shoot, there's a lot of things I'm thankful for, man. I'm thankful to be sitting here right now. You know, what an opportunity to, you know, to do this. And I always tell our kids, you know, I'm humbled and honored even to stand before them. You know what I mean? They, you know, I'm on them all the time, and but I am. I mean, it's an honor, you know. So I'm thankful for a lot of things. Obviously, my family first, and you know, I'm thankful my parents can still come to my games. You know, they're getting on up there in age, and there's some reality to that stuff that you know, and they're out on the field after the game. You know, it's good stuff. So it is, you know, I think this time of year you do get to catch your breath a little bit after Thursday morning. There's a brief period there that you sit down and you're having lunch or dinner with family or friends or whomever that might be, and it does give you a little reflection. And it's hard during the season, I'll be honest with you, Nolan, just because you're 100 miles an hour. And it's like as soon as you win a game, as a coach, you're immediately moving to the next one. And we've made a point about celebrating and enjoying and being thankful, because I think sometimes in this world, and even with our program, you can take things for granted, right? Like sometimes maybe around here winning looks like it's a too commonplace, right? But it's hard work, you know. Kids, support staff, everybody, it's a lot of hard work. So I think sometimes you got to reflect a little bit and be appreciative of what you have and thankful for the things you have. Because you may not always have them. You know, just like when you got COVID take something away from you, I think your appreciation for things, and I think that has a lot to do with this season, right? You lost some things and you didn't realize how important they were till you lost them. You took them for granted and you didn't have them, and now you get them back and you realize how big a deal it is. And I think that's why I was probably as, for me, emotional maybe as I was after the game, is because all that packed together, you know, you're thankful to be where you are and what a group of kids could accomplish. So I probably gave you way more information you asked for, but no, there's a lot of stuff, man. It's I think it's hard to step back, but I think this time of year it helps you do that. I think it's really good to step back when you get a chance to take a breath and look around the room and at the table, and there's so many things we all had to be thankful for, and I think a lot of times we take things for granted. We shouldn't, but we do.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank y'all. All right, y'all have a good Thanksgiving. Guess I'll see you on Saturday, huh?